us don't. Some of us talk to each other. Sorry,
Talking to, like, that's,
outside voice.
I work very hard.
It's your orientation. It's kind of like the natural human response to sitting. You think who you're facing. You talk to who you're facing.
Pay attention to staff if they're down here.
Yeah, like,
They're behind me.
We need to reorganize. It would be so good to reorganize that. So we're actually having a meeting.
and as we're leaving.
Make a round table.
But I think it's like more than 30 years of that being a thing, not just for the council, but for councils and school, all sorts of stuff. But the actual goal of you guys meeting is to speak to each other and solve these things. So
Yeah.
All right, where's my gavel?
I actually put the gavel with.
It's in the drawer, I think.
Oh, okay.
So are we talking about this setup right here? Setup does encourage us to.
It
Who's there?
Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order. We're a bit unruly today. Oh, I'm getting a finger.
Finger?
Wait for the recording. Thank you. Taking charge.
Recording in progress.
That's better. Okay. Hello, everyone. We'll call this Catholic Regional District Planning Committee meeting to order here Tuesday, May 27th already. It's feeling nice, nice and summery outside. Welcome those in the room, those virtually. We have alternate director Williams. Welcome. First time meeting for some of us, so welcome. And we'd like to start the meeting by acknowledging we're holding this on the traditional territory of the Tla'amin Nation. Our first order of business is approval of the agenda. Can I have a mover for the agenda? Director Gisborne, seconder. Director McCormick, thank you. Any discussion on the agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor? Okay. Carried unanimously, thank you. Next, minutes of our last meeting. Are there any errors or omissions from the last meeting? Around, don't see any. And I have a mover to accept. Thank you, Director Gisborne. Director Williams, second. Thank you. Any more discussion? All those in favor? It's carried unanimously as well. Don't think we have a delegation. Just that. Thank you. On down to reports. So once again, Area A is busy in our agendas. Tomorrow will be busy as well. So 8.1 is an application for Crown land tenure, industrial logging, landing, and storage. That's on Powell Lake, but it is in Electoral Area A. And so there's a good staff report there. Do I have a mover for the recommendation? Director Gisborne, seconder. Director McCormick, thanks. Any discussion?
I want to go watch it.
Yes, exactly. So just a few points here. I'm in support of the recommendation. If you read the report, it's all there. It's for a 2 to 3 year activity for harvesting into the lake. Good to see all the different due diligence pieces in there around mitigation measures to the environment, community. The Powell Region Cabin Owners Association was consulted as well, and they had also consultation with harvesting companies recently at their meeting. So that's important, and they seem satisfied with that. If you look on page 5 of 23 of the report, it's fairly remote. It's northeast, I suppose, of Goat. So it's not going to impact a lot of people, but as he said, it'll be pretty exciting if you've ever watched that type of harvesting. So any other comments? If not, I'll move it. All those in favor? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. And as I said, another Area A 8.2 is a provincial referral for Crown land permission for residential private moorage. This is called Thors Cove, Lancelot Inlet. And if you look at the report, page 6 of 30 shows you where it is. There's a lot of historical activity in that area if you've traveled up in there by boat usually. And so these folks are trying to do the right thing and apply through Walrus. So that's our MLA's ministry that's responsible to do that. So actually, I'll just ask for a mover of the recommendation, Director Gisborne, seconded by Director Williams. Thank you. Any discussion? I started that already, but just filling in the blanks. I guess I'll just continue a couple of points. So again, a very good report. I was going to ask, but I saw it in there. There's a referral process with the Tla'amin Nation, and Again, we've had recent contact with the nation about archaeology, making sure that when we're working in these areas and doing planning, that we have that consultation. So I was glad to see that in there, and I'm sure that the minister will make sure of that process. There's a recent marine assessment that indicates that area is fairly low productivity. So people that are worried about like marine productivity and the impact, if you've ever anchored or tried to anchor up in there or traveled, it's pretty bare. If you look at the marine under the water, it's just due to the ecosystem there. And then it was also great to see my predecessors and the board's work on the Malaspina Oakover coastal plan that was took many years to get everybody together in that region to wrap their minds around cooperating and really having the environment and First Nations and everything else considered, and that was definitely part of it. So full support of that. Good report. Any other points? If not, to the vote. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. No new business. Question period. Do we have Mr. Galinsky or anybody else?
Hello, Chair. Galinsky from the Peak Online. Couple of questions. With regard to item 8.1, I'm wondering if there's any safety concerns with regard to all of the helicopter logging that's going on, or whether that's been looked at and is not a worry.
Well, I'd say, thanks for your question, Paul. Definitely safety is always a concern, as we did here at the cabin owners meeting the other night. Their licensing, everything kind of hinges and starts with safety. So we make some assumptions that they're following all the different, ministries and requirements. So I would, if you're interested in specifics about how they handle heli logging or that type of harvesting, I recommend you reach out to the Western or to the harvesting companies themselves, and they'll be glad to, I'm sure, give you that info.
I thank you for that response, Chair. My second question is with regard to item 8.2. I know that in some areas of Cathet Regional District with the seashell ban, there are concerns about wharfs going in and that sort of thing. Are there any concerns about this particular location up in Oakover from First Nations, or is it pretty clear that it's able to go through?
Well, as I said, if you read the report, it's pretty clear what steps the process that they're in. I would, as I say, the mandate from Walrus, I call them Walrus, sorry, just to be brief, but all the ministries of the BC government, that has primacy as well, that consultation. And as I mentioned, we've been talking with them recently. I don't know, Ms. Rodden, in the planning sense, do you have any other information to add to that?
Through the chair, the applicant has stated that they have been talking with the Tla'amin Nation because they do have a tenure that overlaps dock here that's being applied for. And the province has responsibility for ensuring that First Nations rights aren't infringed upon. And so I think we just have to trust the province's process on that. Yeah. The Seashell Nation territory does not come this far north.
Right. Yeah, thanks. I was going to mention that the SWIA, I hope I'm saying that right, that the Seashell Nation and the BC government have been working on, and their foundation agreement is there is a defined map. It does kind of come up into our region in the southern areas, but these two are separate.
No, I thank you, Chair. I did read the report and did see that Tla'amin Nation had been consulted, and it appears there's no concerns. So I thank you very much, and Ms. Rodden, for the responses to my question.
Excellent. Thanks. Think there's any other folks online with a question? No in camera.
Well, I didn't see how to put my hand up, but I am the applicant.
Thank you for catching me there. Mr. Shepherd, is it? Maybe introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you. So that's right. I started this process in May 2021. Before purchasing the property, I actually reached out to First Nations to ask what their general thinking about it was. And essentially they said, if you follow the usual procedures, we wouldn't have a problem with it. Now, having said that, we will be doing an archaeological assessment, and somebody from Tla'amin will be, directly involved in that.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Chair. I didn't realize we had you on the line, or we sort of would have done this maybe a bit differently, but I totally appreciate you helping us out there and your due diligence on that. So thank you. All right, now I can move, I think, to adjournment. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Barely got my slides done.
I'm sorry, yeah. Trying to get things done. Thanks, Mr. Shepherd. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sandy. Talk to you tomorrow.